Control. Jeskai Control is one of the decks that I really like in this format right now. This is one of the many decks that you can find on my website right now, jeffhoagland.com. There's a standard decks button in the navigation at the top. This is a blue-red that's splashing some white cards for like good utility. We have Deafening Clarion as an efficient early sweeper. We have Nova, or Cleansing Nova, as an efficient late sweeper, which allows you to clean up things like Carnage Tyrant, which are very annoying for you. And then we have, you know, Busted Planeswalker, Resident Teferi. Had a $5 tip there real quick. I'm not adverse to giving Wizards my money. I was just curious because of the deal with one of your sponsors for MTGO. What is my sponsor with MTGO have to do with Arena at all? We still use my sponsor for MTGO. MTGO is the only way you can play Modern and the only way you can play Legacy and stuff like that. So that's great. We still use my sponsor for MTGO to play the older non-rotating formats that Magic Online allows us to play. But Arena is the future of digital Magic. It just really is. I want to make sure not only is like it more pleasant to play, but it is it's more pleasant to watch for people too, especially with like the Twitch integrations where people can like mouse over the cards through my board and stuff. Do you want any settle or seal away to deal with Adanto Vanguard? So this, like many of the lists that we play in the stream, is a viewer submitted deck list. You do sponsor my stream, Marty. You've basically sponsored my Arena collection. Have you played Blue-Black Control running 4 Blood Operas? I have, and you can find videos of that on my website, as well as my current preferred. I believe Blue-Black Operative is one of the many decks on my website. Like 99% sure that Blue-Black Operative is up there. Yeah, Blue-Black Control. Look at that. There's my Blue-Black Control deck. Yeah, it's great. Needs another land, but it's fine otherwise. So someone was asking earlier about cards like Seal Away or Settle the Wreckage to beat the card Adanto Vanguard specifically. One of the things you kind of have to do with the control decks when you play in any format is you kind of pick and choose what cards you're beating and what cards you're losing to. So you also do appear to sponsor my stream. Crowns are great. Yeah, details on how to submit decks to my stream to get played can be found there at the link on my website. Yeah, this is fine. There's also the deck queue on my website, which has an embedded Google Doc of all the decks that are going to be played coming up on stream here. This game's a perfect example. Someone's asking about why we're playing Ionize as opposed to something like Sinister Sabotage. Case in point, would not be able to cast Sabotage here. Someone asked if you've heard of Jeskai Control in Modern. Sure, Jeskai Control is one of the worst decks people love to play in Modern. Definitely, Marty. I'm just going to be resource efficient here and counter this card Chart Course. Yep. Would it be worth copying the Chart Course? I don't think so. I don't really have anything that I necessarily want to discard in my hand at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and kill their bird and then Ionize their Drake, and then I'm going to get to play. Then I'm going to get to play Teferi on an empty board. People play far worse decks than Jeskai. Jeskai is the worst deck that is popular in Modern. Like, I agree that there's a ton of really terrible decks that people play in Modern, but like, Jeskai's like a really popular deck people play that's terrible.
This isn't a fight you can win. Keep up the pace.
The vault is bad. They know the vault is bad. I don't really know what to say to that. They're Arena's finally good software that's Magic software, but I would assume they still have a pretty small team. What's the going rate for Ponza these days? Let's say $50 at a minimum. I think Ponza's pretty terrible. I think Blue-White is better than Jeskai by a small bit, but I think Blue-White's also pretty bad. Do I want to copy this? I think I'm just going to copy this. No. Well, the fastest way to pay to play is just like open your credit card and buy a bunch of booster packs. The White Ninja, thank you for the 8-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Looks like their bird is coming back here. What do you think is the best deck in Modern? There isn't. It's one of the reasons why. There are a bunch of perfectly degenerate decks that are all reasonable to pick up and play.
That didn't pan out. Hold that thought.
Like, that doesn't feel amazing, but I think it's fine. We have to untap a couple of lands here and have Blink of an Eye up, just in case. Just want to, like, keep pressure off my Teferi here. I'm bad about that. I need to remember to send an email response to when tier 3 subs put their stuff in. I don't always email them back. I need to remember to do that. I'm just gonna Chemister's Insight here. Yeah, because I get to untap 2 lands, right? So might as well just like do this now. I played the Cremator deck on stream. I've not. I had someone send that into the submission though, so it is on my radar. I think someone's gonna be sending it in, but we've not actually played it on stream yet. Alright, we've activated Teferi 3 times, so this is the part of the game where we're gonna continue playing Magic, but the game is over and my opponent likely can't win. And now that I've said that, we're gonna like stumble and die, but this is usually the part of the game where they can't win. Especially like, we just like need our Niv-Mizzet here and we'll just like bury them deep in the ground. At the end of the day, Magic the Gathering is a game that you should play for fun. So if you enjoy playing Jeskai Control or Blue-White Control or any other deck that I think is bad or anybody else thinks is bad, you should ignore us and play the deck that you enjoy playing. Because if you aren't having fun playing Magic, you're playing Magic wrong. The only way to play Magic wrong is to not have fun playing a game. If playing Magic feels like a chore, you're doing it wrong. If playing Magic feels like your job, you should just go to work instead. It's better value, better EV. All right, now the game is really over. Niv first for damage, whatever. Jed, I have a dirty little secret for you. When Niv-Mizzet is in play, you're gonna be ahead by enough that it doesn't matter how sloppy you are. Y'all want to see a neat trick? This is my favorite trick. Kick it. Do 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 do. I don't even think that's true label kills. Like I'm very adamant about not playing decks in this stream that I don't enjoy. And like when we're playing a deck that I thought might have been okay that starts to suck, I stop playing Magic with it. I'm like, this deck is bad. I'm not having fun. We're gonna play something else. Like there's plenty of sweet things I can be playing that are awesome, that like playing decks that aren't fun doesn't make sense for me either. Oh no, they're gonna kill my Teferi, chat. So I have a lot of mana here.
No more games. Enough.
What am I doing here? That's a search for Azcanta. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lands. Do I just like Niv plus Shivan Fire? I could Niv, Shivan Fire, search for Azcanta. It doesn't seem terrible. I kind of don't want to take a hit from these birds next turn though. I'm just gonna Cleansing Nova. I'm gonna ditch this Essence Scatter. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should hold that because of a Drake. I'm doing this because ideally I want to stop them from playing 3 things this turn, but maybe that's just like not possible because they have this radical idea in their hand. Wow! Holy crap! That, man, we just got. That, yeah. Woof. Woof. Man, the pride cometh before the fall, chat. The pride. Someone call the police. There's been a robbery. The game's been stolen, chat. That was good. That was good technology. That was some good stuff. Hey, big fat cow. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. We activated Teferi so many times. I thought I was so far ahead. Star of Extinction is good against green black. It just like kills Carnage Tyrant and all their planeswalkers. I just want to negate here. I think I just want to negate here. Yeah, the best source of card advantage is killing your opponent while they have cards in their hand. Enigma Drake, but yeah, basically. We died to Enigma Drake getting hasted after I ionized something I shouldn't have ionized. So I actually don't think Settle's that good in matches like this. It's like passable, but Settle's often very, very telegraphed. And I think it's pretty obvious a lot of time when you have Settle. And which makes it, like, Settle's a card that's very good against people that are bad at Magic, but, like, you shouldn't maximize your deck to be good against people who are bad at Magic, because you should be beating those people most of the time anyways. We get a Woof emote. I don't know if I use that as a reference enough to, like, warrant a slot. Yeah, they did miss a land drop as well, so we've got that going for us. Yep. They ditched a bird over here. Yep. Yeah, probably, Marty. I'm gonna go ahead and burn the Justice Strike here, even though Shivan Fire can't kill as many things, because I would like to be resource efficient as possible that turn. Not really JVL, because, and like a lot of positions the aggro deck puts you in with Chemister's Insight, like if you don't have the Settle, they're just gonna kill you, and like a lot of these aggro decks are in positions where they can't afford to play around Settle anyways, so they're just gonna like run into it or not. I don't know. It's just like Settle just consistently feels like this awkward card that I'm always disappointed to Settle the Wreckage. It definitely has really good spots, but I think it's very mediocre against players that understand what's going on in the game. We Boros now. This was a risk keeping this hand. Yeah, I agree, Tough Ghost. I think Cleansing Nova is significantly better than Subtle Wreckage against Black Green as well. Nice spun count. think I'm just gonna let this happen and like hope to draw a 5th land and like Cleansing Nova next turn. Just like take the hit from the Phoenix here. Did they just been another Phoenix? Rough. Yep. So we're gonna take at least 6 here. And the problem here is, yeah, we're just very dead. We've missed for too long. Let's try another one. Justice Strike doesn't really accomplish anything. Like, again, like, one of the things I think people don't realize when they, like, take in, like, concession value and, like, I concede some games. Like, we have a lot of people ask, like, why did you concede that game like you weren't dead? Like, there's a difference between, like, being actually dead and, like, still being in a game where, like, you can construct a win, right? Like, there's definitely games where, like, sure, if you could, like, stack both players' decks, you could maybe get out of it. But on average, a lot of time, like, a game like that where I wasn't going to die for a couple of turns, like, I didn't have a reasonable series of draws to, like, pull me out of that game. Is he even involved in the Magic community? So back before Hearthstone, D9 was someone who made content for Magic off and on. He was the Spellslinger series that's been started back up again recently is something that existed, I believe, before Hearthstone. D9 actually got a creator, fan, invite, personality. Let's call it a personality invite to a Magic Pro Tour for making content and being popular and like being interested in Magic. I agree, hates control. As a human, I enjoy conceding matches where we're pretty unlikely to win, and as a streamer, I think I make far better content when I don't like sit there and make people watch this just like get pounded for 5 minutes. So the problem is, am I dead yet and stop hitting him? Those are things that just like have a hard time being represented in like how big an emote is. There's a lot of great ideas that like these are things that are like sound funny to like potentially be an emote, but like none of them translate at 28 by 28 pixels. So, like, we have Azcanta going, which is very good in the control mirror, but we've been missing land drop so far. Hopefully, as the game takes a few more turns, the fact that we have Azcantas going is going to increase our average card quality enough to get ahead against the opponent, but definitely missing these first few land drops is not doing us any favors. I want to punish players for conceding. Do we run lands in our deck? A couple. I've dabbled in putting lands in my deck once or twice before. Please, please, please. Ding. All right, sweet. So the fact that we hit that land there should mean on the back of this Chemister's Insight, we get to start hitting, continue hitting our land drops. It might do more decks than are listed in the title tonight. Well, that's certainly a card. All right, sweet. We hit our 5th land, so we just like get to like play Teferi Tuck. I have 2 lands in my hand already. Is it greedy to bin this? Probably. Am I gonna do it anyways? Yes. I think I want to just stick Teferi, right? Like, I could kill this with Justice Strike, but I think I'd rather just stick Teferi here. Teferi, like, means they get to replay this later, but this is kind of a tempo swing, right? Just tuck Niv-Mizzet in. Niv looks tired, doesn't he? Do you want to just tuck him in? Oh, I could Teferi uptick and then strike it? That's interesting. Maybe that line's better. I definitely didn't consider doing both, but that seems like a reasonable thing to be doing there. Thoughts on Legacy right now? Not a huge fan of the current Legacy format. I love Niv in the main deck of these decks.
I'm not done.
Boop. Just boop, boop him. Boop him on the nose. Have you tried the Rakdos burn deck? Consider it. I've not. It's in the queue, so we're gonna get to it at some point, but I personally have not played it yet. Was Legacy better when Deathrite Shaman was in the format? No, I don't think so. I think all the problems I have with Legacy right now, like, existed like when Deathrite Shaman existed. Oh, I like that it slides them out of the way when I go to mouse over the Planeswalkers so I can see their loyalty. That's so good. That's just good, clean living right there. All right, so do I want to Shivan Fire my Niv in response here to draw a card? I think I do. When was the last time I enjoyed Legacy? Before True Name Nemesis was printed.
The stakes are clear now. Silent.
Because you know what? The color that had all the good cards in it already needed? It needed 3 mana Progenitus. That's what they needed. 3 mana Progenitus. I like how, like, I just played my land on turn 6 and it came into play tapped. Just like turn 6 tapped Clifftop Retreat. How about backup Niv-Mizzet? How you feel about that one?
No time for a break.
Boop this right on the nose. My land sequencing is coming to bite me here. If I would have waited on playing my land, I could have played the Sacred Foundry tapped. And now, like, getting this untapped later is going to cost me 2 points of health. Oh, I also could have shocked in and then, like, had Azcanta activation this turn. Cleansing Nova is probably bad here. Yeah, I agree, Pikes. It is truly obnoxious Magic the Gathering card. True Name Nemesis. I believe it's True Dash Name. Tezzeret's really interesting. Actually, this is a card, if we play enough tonight, I think we're gonna get to at least 4 decks. The 4th deck we're gonna play tonight is actually a 4x Tezzeret deck. I think this card's really underutilized in Standard right now. I think this card's got a pretty good text box on it. Just like both the +1 and the 0 are both very reasonable.
You're still 1 step behind.
Tezzeret and Phyrexian Scriptures. That's a really good idea. I have no idea what's causing that. I think I just Justice Strike this. It lets them draw a card, but it means I'm gonna get to draw a card too. So like it's like 6 in one hand, Hypnos in the other. And this thing's at 6, right? Oh, it's at 5. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot them because Niv's gonna kill this next turn. All right, this game is very over. They don't even know that we have this Ral, but the game is just over. Think it's better to outdraw your opponent with blue red. I don't know what you mean by outdraw. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. So go ahead and trim these things. 58. All right, so let's put a couple of cards back in here. So which of these 2 cards in my sideboard right now do I want back in my deck for this matchup? It could be a Star of Extinction. Do I want both stars? The star's like a huge catch-up card, right? I can see that being okay. Just like an oh crap button. Yeah, it kills their extinction. It kills their... I'm in for star. I don't think it's good, but I think it's less bad than the other things we have on our board. I mean, like, Do we need a better board for control though? I think the tools that this deck has for control like are already pretty good. If you go to my website and you click standard decks at the top, you'll be able to find a deck list and a video of me playing the 5-color Lich deck. And at the end of every deck that I play, you'll be able to find my wrap-up thoughts on that deck after having just played it. So past Jeff always knows better than present Jeff on how he felt about a deck, because present Jeff has played a lot of different decks between when past Jeff played it and now. ZD Waffle, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. No, there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff. Thanks for keeping me employed this month with that. Welcome. Well, this is truly unfortunate. I guess I'm bidding a Chemister's Insight. Can I go with like a 12? Can I give an answer that's higher than an 11? The standard format is more than good. It's great. All right, so Crackling Drake in their deck means that I want Lava Coil in for the last game instead of the Stars of Extinction. Nice, Yurko. Congrats. It's not easy to day 2 those tournaments, and day 2ing opens, in fact, is harder than day 2ing Grand Prix now, since they changed the day 2 cutoff for Grand Prix to 6 and 2. You have to 7-2 to day 2 opens most of the time. Some of the smaller ones you get in with 6-3, but so I can't do emotes of like cartoons and stuff like that without doing I guess I could do great with a tiger, like great. I could do great with a generic tiger, but like actual Tony the Tiger gets me into copyright trouble. I've been stricken. I've been stricken. Like, are we going for the old 9-ball here? What's the deal? So I think I'm just like heading to the Space Jam here. It's gonna be like threat, do. YOLO Swaggins. This card's really good. It's possible that there should just be a third Niv in the sideboard of this deck. Holy crap, are we dead? I think we're dead. Am I about to die? That just happened. Okay, yep. Wow, that, huh. Okay. The lightning strike seemed aggressive. Turns out they were, in fact, appropriately aggressive. I'll put some Lava Coils back in my deck over these Star of Extinctions. I don't know that I have... I don't know that I really have... I guess I could board in Deafening Clarions to, like, give my Niv-Mizzets lifelink, but I only have 2 Niv-Mizzets. So, like, I think we're just supposed to hope that they just, like, don't have all of those cards. They sent it out their counters. That's not true. We got Disdainful Stroke that game. In that game, we also, like, missed our 3rd line drop on to, like, 5, right? So, bring in your discard. Yep. It's sad that I can't have my headphones on because I really like the sound effects in this game. Have to be able to listen for the kids though. They're very well done. They pull the application together very nicely. Chemister's Insight is just like the perfect draw there. I was stacking my deck. That's the one I had to put on top. So I have this negate and I have 7 lands guaranteed. So I think I'm gonna wait until I can 5 mana Planeswalker with negate up here. So I think I'm gonna wait on the Chemister's Insight too, because if I Chemister's Insight, I'm gonna have to move to hand size on my next turn. And I don't really want to do that. So like this turn, I'm gonna jumpstart the Chemister's Insight, and the reason why I'm gonna jumpstart the Chemister's Insight this turn is because next turn I'm going to play 2 cards most likely, possibly even 3. I'm gonna play land plus Planeswalker and probably a negate as well. Does this deck work without the big dragon? No, the dragon's really important. I'm gonna discard a land here actually. So I have 2. We're pretty likely to hit another one when we draw like 3 or 4 cards here. Perfect. Search for Azcanta. Do I just jam search for Azcanta here? Search is like pretty good. I think I'm gonna do that to start. Ding. Alright, well I'm just gonna pass the turn. There's 1 card in my bin. I'm just gonna let this pull me ahead. Maybe I'm not supposed to wait though. Like part of the scary part is like they showed us they burned us out from 18 last game very quickly, so maybe I'm not supposed to be waiting. Stay right there. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna start slamming Planeswalkers. Slamming my cards here too also allows me to what's the word I'm searching for? Fill my graveyard up faster for search for Azcanta. So like even if I lose this fight here, that's fine because I put 2 cards in my bin. And like I have search for Azcanta going, and then next turn I'm gonna get to play Teferi with negate up. And like I get 2 looks at like another negate for next turn too, which is nice. So there's 3 cards in my bin now. So I have 8 mana in play. This will be my 9th. So if I find another 2 mana counterspell next turn, I can go Teferi with 2 counters up. I have Lava Coil and Blink of the Eye to cover me in case they resolve anything. Sweet. Yeah, so Drake here. And actually the Drake means that because I'm going to have 9 mana next turn, I can Lava Coil, negate Teferi. So I can do all 3 of these things, which is fantastic. That could be useful at some point. Let's start with this. I would like to counter your counter. I might just let this go too. Yeah, like the Drake only has 2 power at the moment. This is my Planeswalker. My Planeswalker's annoying. And like there's 6 cards in my bin now, so like even if they untap and they kill Teferi, I'm just gonna get to put the next card. Actually, if they try to kill Teferi, I'm gonna blink him back to my hand. I really love the flexibility on Blink of an Eye in these archetypes. This is a card that was really impressive to me in straight blue-red control, and I like that this Jeskai list has it too. That's annoying, but not the end of the world. So Teferi's gonna take a total of 4 here, and then he's gonna take 1 when I Banefire this next turn, but I can plus him before I do that. So their Niv's gonna have drawn them 2 cards, but I think that's fine. I think I'm gonna keep that on top for now, because they have like Crackling Drakes and stuff like that I'd like to be able to counter. I don't have a clean answer to a Crackling Drake after I burn my Banefire on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the Sulfur Falls out, and then Teferi's gonna untap 2 of my lands, and then I can Essence Scatter plus kick Blink of an Eye. If they go to kill my Teferi next turn, I'm gonna kick Blink of an Eye, pick him back up. If they have another Niv-Mizzet, we're gonna be in trouble here, but sans the second Niv-Mizzet, we're gonna be in a very good spot. And like even if they have that, I'm gonna get to activate Azcanta next turn, which is nice. Can't be countered. You have no maximum hand size. Discard 3 cards. Yep. Okay. That's interesting. I think I'm just blinking this, right? I think I'm just blinking this. They get to draw a card. I get to draw a card. But like, I think I'm fine with that. Good luck timeout for the Dodgers. You couldn't dodge this time out. Hopefully the Dodgers can dodge whatever the other people have going on. Did I draw them into a way to kill my Teferi? That's a tilt.
Stop that now.
I agree. I think that card's... If that card was Niv-Mizzet, we'd be in a lot of trouble, but because that card is that, we might actually have a chance here. Alright. I guess we're running back to bounce the dork next turn. It's an interesting point. I don't know. Like, it would have played around them drawing a thing to kill my Teferi. I'd have gotten another card out of Teferi, but at the same time, I like being mana efficient. Wow, you're just not playing that card out? That's so good for me. Oh, I guess they saw the Blinking Eye. That's fair. How about justice? Swift justice, chat. I think I actually just have enough counterspells and I'm ahead on cards because of this Azcanta that I want to fight aggressively over things like this and just like run them out of cards here. If they go to jumpstart this, I'm gonna Ionize it. The art on this card is so creepy. Just like the eyeballs all over its body. Just like one of those good. It's a good Halloween card, right? Where are my planeswalkers? There's my planeswalker. Who's a good little planeswalker? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm like, this resolves now, and I'm gonna get to plus Teferi, which means I have Ionize up next turn too.
I know my responsibility. Keep up the pace.
So, unfortunately, I can't activate Azcanta again because I had to counterspell there, but I do get to hold up Ionize at least. I've got that going for me. We're ahead by most metrics that matter here, so... We're really just like waiting to draw a Niv, huh? That's fine. Hey, Mosquito Mutant, thank you for the $9 tip. I appreciate that. Any changes you think need to happen, feel free. Thank you for the support. And remember, if you've uploaded that deck list via an account that you've created on MTG Goldfish, any updates that you make to the deck between now and when I play it, just make them on the account there. And the day before I play it, I'll grab your latest version. I love how you can like kind of see the card like creeping out from underneath here, just hiding, just hiding, just NBD. I think I've already played a Banefire, right? So one more Banefire in my deck that will eventually kill him. Speaking of things that will eventually kill them.
Need to move quickly.
We are in game 3 here against Blue Red at the moment. That feels okay so far. Oh, I could have activated Azcanta, then untapped my Azcanta here. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that Terminator. I'm gonna go ahead and Ionize here. Just again, want to like keep them down to critical mass of cards. I've just got so many counter spells. I've got the Azcanta advantage. Yeah, standard's super popular right now. Tap you. That one can't be countered, chat. Maybe I'm just supposed to explosion them in response there. Very possible. Put the fear of Bane Fire in him. Got Mosquito. Yeah, my evening is going swell. Hanging out, playing some Magic the Gathering, you know, the usual. You have to discard 3 cards here. It's a tilt. Sweet. How nice of you to cast cards that I can counterspell. Yeah, this is Bob's configuration. So if they put this stupid lizard into play again, I just like double Justice Strikeout rate. Like they draw some card, but doesn't really matter. I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 lands in play right now. Please read Expansion Explosion, people that are talking about lines here. Okay, so I'm gonna enable full control here, and I'm gonna Ionize this. And then I'm gonna expansion my Ionize. So I'm gonna 4 them with these, then I'm gonna untap and Banefire them. Because this can't be countered doesn't mean it can't be targeted by counter spells. It just means when the counter spell resolves targeting it, it's not going to stop the spell from happening. Yeah, and they know about the Banefire from the search for Azcanta. All right, well, Magic Arena decided to just crash through really quick, so I'm going to restart it, but the match was over anyways, and we won. How we doing tonight? Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. If you're new in the audience, thanks for dropping by tonight. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. We play all constructed on this channel. We play a ton of Standard on Magic Arena. We also play some Modern on Magic Online. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I love doing what I do here, but wouldn't be able to be here day in and day out without the wonderful support from all of them. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Harry's Razors would like to help you get that nice, close, clean shave using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/whowill-shave or harrys.com. You can save 5% on your trial kit with them. It can be as little as $3 with shipping. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your Magic cards into other cards directly to the players. There's no haggling, and they just take 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they have on their website. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. Please talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator about receiving your complimentary timeout. If you are new and enjoying yourself, make sure you hit the follow button at the very least. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything. It lets you know when I go live and with what. I'm still going to be going for another 3 or 4 hours here tonight, but after I'm done streaming, if you're interested in seeing more of my content, be sure to check out my website, jeffhoagland.com. You can find all of my video content up there. Every deck that I play on stream gets uploaded to my YouTube channel after, and I break them all up by deck so you can watch just the stuff that you care about. My mana cost is $10 because it costs $10 to submit a deck to be played here on stream. This Jeskai deck that I'm playing, like most of the decks we play on stream, is a viewer-submitted deck list. I'm talking so quickly you don't understand. Well, it's like a radio ad, right? The radio ad has to be short enough that it doesn't lose interest in the people that are listening to the radio, but it has to be fast enough to contain all of the information that we're currently doing. I am using a standing desk currently. No, you do not counter an uncounterable creature by copying the counter, but I did deal extra damage to my opponent. So the opponent conceded that last game because both of my Ionizes were going to resolve against the creature that they had played, which would have dealt 4 damage directly to them, and then I was going to untap and Banefire them for lethal. Looks like another control matchup. Turn 2 Azcanta, gonna be pretty good here. No, that one could stay right there. Basically just want to hit like all my land drops up to Niv-Mizzet here. I love the Niv-Mizzets in the main deck of this deck. Card's so good in these control mirrors. It leaves a little bit to be desired against green-black, but I think on average overall it's worth playing. After a deck submission, does it go right to the bottom of the queue? For $10, yep, it goes right in at the bottom. Because $10 is the minimum. So if you donate extra with the deck, it'll go in higher. Every dollar you donate past 10 basically kicks it up a point in the queue. I recall you saying you played MTGA on using wine on Linux, correct? Yep. You do anything special for performance? Well, a virtual machine is very different from wine. So virtual machines have a lot of overhead and are much, much worse at running games like this. So wine is actually, I forget what it's called when an acronym is self-referencing, but wine's an acronym that references itself, that actually stands for wine is not an emulator. So wine's a compatibility layer, so it doesn't have the overhead that running something in a VM has. So applications like Unity applications that run very well through wine actually run pretty close to native speeds. As always, I am always happy to be told when I'm incorrect about something, but you need to tell me why I'm incorrect. You can't just come in here and like stroke your own ego off and tell me that I'm wrong to make yourself feel smart. So if you want to help educate and learn and help people understand things, we're always welcome to do that, whether it's related to magic or VMs or technology. But if you just want to come in here and say, you're wrong, neener, neener, I'm so smart, you can wank off and take a 10-minute timeout, just like the rest of the idiots that are obnoxious. Our dragon is cooler. Unfortunately, it's going to be reborn for the opponent. Spin that. Go ahead and strike this before they untap with the counterspell up. I am not always right. I am frequently wrong, in fact. I just have a spine and a logical amount of discourse in my body and understand a well-reasoned argument. So if you don't present one, you're not going to get the time of day here. Can you explain why I stand on a desk? I stand in front of a desk because the human body isn't happy when it sits for extended period of time. So I often stream for, 4, 5, 6, 10 hours in a row, and sitting for that long of a time period is bad for me. Makes my back hurt. Thanks, Ween Devices. How much longer for this deck? Another half hour, 45 minutes or so. I think I'm keeping that. We're definitely transforming, and then I'm not playing this turn because they're gonna get to Eldest Reborn something. They're on 6 lands currently, so they could potentially pick Niv-Mizzet, or they could get Niv back with this, or they could get Nicol Bolas. I guess if they get Nick back, I'm gonna be sad. Oh, I could have just killed the Eldest Reborn here too. Maybe I was just supposed to use the Destroy Enchantments mode. Yeah, we've played Red White Angels on stream. You can find it in the standard videos portion on my website or by going to my YouTube channel. Good evening, wife. Our monsters are sleeping, so I'm streaming. Yeah, good amount of people. The standard content's been very popular recently, which is good because I've really enjoyed making standard content. Don't counterspell me, bro. I'm gonna concede if they have a counterspell here. Main deck Disdainful Stroke. Gosh, cards, things like this are why I want to play Pirates at the Grand Prix next month. Just like thoroughly punish obnoxious people for inbreeding an obnoxious amount. So if you have main deck, what? God bless. Did you write software before streaming full time? Yeah, I contribute to a number of open source projects. I actually help maintain an Ubuntu-based Linux distribution. Shivan Fire's probably not good enough here. Negate seems fine. Counters Eldritch Reborn and stuff. I think I want to keep the Lava Coils in for killing their... Maybe I don't want all the Cleansing Novas. Yeah, I probably don't want any of the Cleansing Novas, actually. Maybe one is fine. One's probably fine. I don't think this is a Banefire matchup because the blue-black control decks have discard in them. So, like, Duress and Thought Erasure make it really hard to hold Banefire in your hand to get lethal later. I'm wearing an Ubuntu shirt as I write this. That's fantastic. I think one Cleansing Nova is better than these other cards. The good luck timeout worked. That's great. Yeah, drop me a message, Corks. Or send me an email from the email address you PayPal'd from. It actually would be better if you could do that. jeffhoagland@linux.com, linux.com. Is Ionize worth gemming? Probably not. Are there any resources for new Linux users you would recommend? My biggest recommendation for new Linux users is don't use something like Manjaro. I would highly recommend, if you want your first Linux experience to be something pleasant, to use either an Ubuntu LTS or something Linux Mint based. I think it's one of the best control shells. I think it's a playable control shell. I don't think any control decks are very good in Modern, but I think that one's like not any worse than most of the others. Linux Mint does a good job of like smoothing out some of the rough edges Linux can have for beginning users and just like makes the experience very easy and clean. If your goal is to just like have a Linux distribution on your computer just like works with everything out of the box for the most part, Linux Mint's a good one. If you want to like dig in and learn a little bit about Linux, Ubuntu LTS is probably a better choice because you have to do a little bit more with that. This is pretty clean here. We used to go tap Steam Vents, hold up a 2-mana spell this turn, and then next turn we get to go untap 4th Landing, Chemister's Insight, which is nice. Blood Operative, gross. I'm really glad I left my Lava Coils in. This card's very good, and honestly, cards like, maybe I should leave my Shivan Fires in, because they can kick to kill Nicol Bolas. They probably have Thief out of the sideboard too. Blood Operative's very, like, having played the blue-black side of this matchup a lot, Blood Operative's very good in matches like this because it makes your opponent have to board awkwardly. They can't just board like it's a pure control mirror where they like board up and bring in a bunch of counter spells because you have these little threats that are going to pressure their health total if they don't have a way to take it off the table. I tried to install Gentoo one time, and that's just like 2 days of my life that I will never get back from undergrad. Peace, Marty. Have a good one. Perfect. Am I doing this now? I think I'm doing this now. Yeah, I'm gonna do this now. It feels kind of bad. Like, there's definitely an argument to just like playing Chemister's Insight here so I can try and hit my land drop and just like take another hit from this Blood Operative. But it's kind of appealing to get to kill the Blood Operative while they're tapped out and can't counterspell me. Nicol Bolas actually isn't that bad for us here. I get to discard this Chemister's Insight, which I get to jumpstart, and then I actually get to be resource efficient this turn and play Justice Strike on this. I've actually really liked the blinks. We've had a lot of people go to kill our Niv. I use Blink to pick it up. People go to kill our Planeswalker. I pick it back up. No, Dimir's actually very good in Constructed. If you go to my website and click the standard deck button at the top, there is a blue-black control deck there, or Dimir control, that I think is very, very good right now. It's pretty similar to what the opponent's playing. So I'm going to go ahead and just let this Thought Erasure resolve, because I'm going to get to Chemister's Insight even if they take it here. And if I Chemister's Insight into something like a Planeswalker or a Niv-Mizzet, I'd really rather they don't get to take that away from me. So looking for a Planeswalker here to tuck this. Oh, that's actually fine, right? Because I can Explosion this for 2. This Thief of Sanity runs away with games very quickly. So this card, every time it hits us, they get to look at the top 3 cards of our deck and then take one of them, and then they can cast it. So that card's basically like a Howling Mine effect that would let my opponent draw 2 cards every turn. Sweet, and I have a Teferi to deal with this one. Assuming I don't get Disdainful Stroked. Don't stroke me, 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 ding! Alright, sweet. So Teferi gets to go ahead and tuck this away here, and by the time they draw it again, we should hopefully have Ionize up. And I have Disdainful Stroke to cover any of their large plays here, so we're in a pretty good spot now. The fact that they have Thief and Blood Operative in their deck means I'm gonna bring my Shivan Fires back in for the 3rd game. Hey, Knight says, "Nee, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support." There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. So I have 7 mana here. I'm actually gonna go ahead. So they don't redraw the Thief for 2 turns. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Chemister's Insight now because Teferi's gonna untap some of my lands, right? So this way, if I draw another land here, I can, yeah. So I can play the Sulfur Falls now, and then Teferi's gonna untap 2 lands. I'll also have double Ionize up. How am I so energetic? Because I like what I do. My job is great. Magic is fun, and Arena is awesome. Do you reckon you could punch a man so hard you'd set him on fire? Probably not. Arena's a little bit better because it's got like splashy effects and stuff, but like people that aren't familiar with me, I'm used to streaming Magic Online, and Magic Online doesn't have any effects in it. So basically, if I, as the streamer, didn't have energy while streaming Magic Online, my game didn't have any energy put into it. There was nothing for people to be excited about. Oh gosh, am I about to get Vraska's Contempted? I'm about to get Vraska's Contempted, aren't I? They're about to Vraska's Contempt my Teferi. I put down Ionize. Wow, that's so bad for me. Holy crap, I just took this game and spiked it into the garbage can. That is so much worse for me than Vraska's Contempt. That is brutal. All right, do I just do it back? I just do it back, right? Turnaround's fair game. Just like get it for 5. Oh yeah, just in for 5. You, me, and Mr. McGee. You timed me out when I was typing more information about VMs. Yeah, you should type your thoughts. Well, I didn't draw any removal. That's unfortunate. The VM is a computer that is running virtually. It's very different from emulators. The capacity of VM depends on your hardware and settings, whereas VM is emulating. VM emulates stuff. Do you have a reference link that explains how a VM is different than an emulator? Is your, like, from my understanding, a virtual machine is literally emulating an operating system inside an operating system. Is there a goal you have to reach before you... Nope. So the best of 3 mode is basically just hidden. It's in the top right hand corner of the main arena screen. There's a little toggle switch that you hit that enables best of 3. Yeah, like Sansa Banefire or a Niv-Mizzet, we're pretty far ahead here. Plus the way it has to utilize the CPU. Yeah, but the way it utilizes stuff, it can't directly translate to the hardware on the host a lot of the time. I know that there's some hardware that like has pass-through, like there's GPU pass-through and stuff, but for the most part, using a VM always has more overhead than using something like Wine or a native application. That's correct, right? So you're like nitpicking me on like the definition of an emulator basically, but like at the end of the day, a virtual machine always has more overhead than something like Wine or running a native application. Stream Decker is very good. Yep. The actual match function is very hidden. No, stop it. Yeah, because you're running an entire operating system plus the application that you're trying to run. So things that run well through wine run at the same speed as the native application would. At some point, we'll draw another Planeswalker. How many Planeswalkers have we been through? We've had one of our 5 Planeswalkers and no Nivs in our top 38 cards. Are we about to get Banefired? This feels like they're pausing to count up an X spell. Hopefully it's Expansion Explosion and not Banefire. I actually didn't board in my Banefires because their deck has discard spells in it. Dawn of Hope's worse than the other control finishers you can play in an archetype like this. I think it's worse than Banefire, it's worse than Niv-Mizzet, it's worse than Planeswalkers. Like, when you're playing like a just white deck that doesn't have access to blue cards, a card like Hope is fine, but like, this deck has access to much better card advantage than that. Look at that, get paid off for holding our island last turn here. Holy crap. I just... Where are my win conditions? Good lord. Holy crap. We're gonna deck, chat. Yeah, it runs fine on wine staging. So actually, it's funny. The updater for Arena is some .NET amalgamation that actually doesn't run through wine. So every time Arena updates, I have to delete my wine directory and reinstall it. But that's the only issue. Actually playing the game works fine. Am I watching a Miracles beer, right? Holy crap, that's a rail. All right, let's start with this. There's only 12 cards in my deck. I actually can't alt this before I deck. Rel was the worst of our week. Hopefully he finds me a Niv. I need a Niv. Niv kills them very quickly. Holy crap. Have we drawn a Niv? Is there a Niv in exile? There is not. So there's 2 Nivs in 10 cards. So let's find him. No, I didn't board in Banefire because I usually don't board in Banefire against the black decks because they have discard spells, but I think that was wrong because Banefire kills their thief. Did I bottom one at the beginning of the game? I actually don't remember.
Time to choose. Boy, so exciting.
No, there aren't Banefires in my deck. I messed up. I messed up and there aren't Banefires in my deck, chat. Oh, we have Teferi. Right, we can't deck. We can Teferi. Well, we can kind of deck. All right. So I've put a stop on my upkeep. I don't want to graveyard this. I graveyarded that by mistake. I definitely said don't want to graveyard, and I said the word graveyard and I missed it. All right, so... If there's... No, there isn't a Niv on the bottom of my deck because this would show me if there was a Niv on the bottom of my deck. Right? This would show me if there was a Niv on the bottom of my deck.
wisely, because the other one's going bye-bye.
Right on schedule. Trust me. You'll thank me later. Let's take it back.
Remember that time I didn't board in Banefire?
I am not. Let's slow this down. I'm not ready for this.
I need to kill them, Chad. I have to attack to kill them. We need to not die to Niv decking. That is correct. Now this is pod racing, right? Oh. I made a mistake. I didn't board in Banefire. Hopefully we can be okay. That's a duress, sure. Noink. Yeah, they took Cleansing Nova, okay. What's your last card? Alright, so there's just a Teferi in my deck. So I'm gonna play this. He's gonna tuck himself.
I'm known for my excellent timing. You need to take a time out.
Okay, I'm not doing anything with this. Just he doesn't do anything. If they draw a blank, we kill them next turn. Yes, they're dead. Sweet. Alright. Yes, we attack them with Niv. We Lava Coil our Niv-Mizzet. We poke them for 1. I didn't have lethal, chat. I will lose the game. The drawing cards, this isn't optional, right? And you draw 2 cards. This is not optional. We lose the game if we emblem the Ral. Alright. Banefire's in. Mistakes were made. The Banefires were not in my deck last game. Yeah, I can't counter my own uncounterable spell, but I can target it and get the Ral trigger. Alright, I'm gonna trim these blinks. Need one more trim here. And trim a scatter. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, it would have drawn the game. You say mistakes, I say we played on hard mode and we won. Did I miss some biddies? Doof Monster, I did miss some biddies, sorry. I have a dashboard that tells me these things. Throw this, an amulet please, will do, thank you for the support. This thing looks like a fine keep. The standard is really good. The standard is one of the best formats of Magic I've played in a long time, quite possibly ever. Hey, Nate Wood, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Now, there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Yeah, but we draw 3 cards. Niv makes you draw a card, chat. So we'd lose the game. Austin TCG Corner, welcome. Thanks for the Prime support. That's brutal. That was good sequencing. Just like take my Chemister's Insight and then take it away. This Blood Operative could really give us the business here. We don't have any removal spells for it. What other standard formats have I enjoyed as much as this one? The last time we returned to Rav was one of my favorite formats. Innistrad RTR was a fantastic standard format. Unfortunately, I don't have anything going on here, so I just need to jam Planeswalkers. Like, they very likely have counter spells here, but I just have like 3/5 drops, so it's just like, head to the Space Jam. First time getting to watch live, and on YouTube a whole bunch. Well, welcome to a live one, Austin. It's my favorite deck in Standard. Blue-Black Pirates. Not close. Blue-Black Pirates is gas. Are we dead? I think we're dead. I guess I can Teferi draw Justice Strike. I think that's the line. I think Teferi Tuck Doom Whisperer is playing from behind too much. I just need to draw an answer here.
Show remorse. I know my responsibility. We need to move quickly.
Lava Coil. It's probably too little too late. How competitive is Black Pirates? No idea. Unless something crazy comes out of the Grand Prix this weekend. I think I'm going to play that at the Grand Prix next month, though. You want to see my Blue-Black Pirates list and a bunch of videos of me playing it, you can head over to my website, jeffhoagland.com. Click on Standard Decks at the top. There's a whole bunch of sweet things up there and videos of me playing them. Go away. We should have cast Ral for extra looks at the card. Well, you see, Teferi untaps my lands. So if Teferi drew the Justice Strike, I'd be able to cast the Justice Strike that turn as well. I'm confused why both of those attack Teferi, but I'll take it. So that's my 7th mana. That means I can, hey, JVL with the $20 tip. Thank you for that. For the Escape Shift and the Goblin Stack. Thank you. I think I just Coil plus Ral this turn. Then, like, maybe my Niv-Mizzet can come down afterwards. Like, Ral's gonna gain us 6 here, which is nice. And then Niv can maybe come down and catch us back up. Hey, Malores, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome.
You ready to go toe to toe with me? Ooh, let's see what
The opponent's health total is mostly irrelevant. I think I'm actually going to take the land tiers, that way I can play Niv with Disdainful Stroke up next turn. I guess their health total is relevant because it lets them use Doom Whisperer as Vampiric Tutor, which is relevant. Blue-Black Pirates is the deck I've been enjoying most. I personally prefer to play Tempo decks in Standard, or Tempo decks in every format, so Blue-Black Pirates has been the most fun I've had playing Tempo. Down to 5. This is like another Doom Whisperer. Yeah, if they have Banefire, we're dead, but I don't have anything. I don't have any way to play around that. Yeah, good games, opponent. And I really feel like that game was a good example of like why I think the blue-black based control decks have such a huge edge in a matchup like this. I think between the discard spells and their ability to play cards like both Blood Operative and Thief of Sanity, they really pressure our ability to sideboard efficiently, and we hit a lot of that wrong half problem that these interactive decks can have in this matchup a lot, where we have a game like that where my opponent drew Doom Whisperer and Blood Operative, and I didn't have removal spells. I had counter spells and Planeswalkers. And there's going to be other games where they draw their non-creature threats, and I'm going to draw removal spells. Wouldn't Ral plus Lava Coil have killed the Doom Whisperer? I think so. I think you're right. Because you like it, or because it can be competitive? I think it can be competitive, but I don't actually know. I haven't done any formal testing in Standard. I've just been playing matches on Magic Arena. Yeah, I don't think it mattered with the Banefire in their hand. Like I said, I think I was happy with most of my choices I made there. I think our cards just ended up lining up awkward against what they had, but I think one of the upsides of playing their deck is that a lot of the time our cards are going to line up awkward against what they have. Temple Guard. I'm going to shock the Sacred Foundry in on one so I can Shivan Fire if they play a turn 2 play. Perfect. This means I'll get to have Justice Strike next turn. It's possible because I have the Deafening Clarion in my hand, I could just let Amara go, but I think I'd like to preserve my health total here a little bit. The Clarion against the green-white tokens deck is going to have longevity. Do you think they're going to make some sort of redirect card in the next set? I have no idea. Speculation like that is just like kind of pointless, in my opinion. So hopefully they play something else that dies to Clarion here, and then we just let it resolve. If they play something that doesn't die to Clarion, we'll Ionize it, because I'm pretty committed to Clarioning next turn, so that way I don't take an 8-ball. Like Shalai, we have to Conclave Caller. Yeah, that one. So I could Ionize this, or I could Justice Strike it. They make the 2/2s, and then I get to Clarion to clean everything up. I think I'm supposed to Ionize this because if by holding the Justice Strike, next turn I'm tapping out for Deafening Clarion, and the Justice Strike will be able to potentially kill anything they play as a follow-up. You think you could convince Watsy to do a Linux build? I'm streaming from a Linux computer right now. It runs perfectly fine using Wine. Wine 3.17 staging or newer runs Arena just perfectly. And Blue Black Pirates State, the PPTQ, I wanted to do well. Ended almost every game with the opponent at 3-4 or less. Felt great, just needed to be a little bit more aggressive, mostly against Blue Black and Jeskai control. I think the deck's pretty good against the control decks in the format. And that's pretty unfortunate for us. That's a pretty big threat that this Justice Strike just doesn't deal with. I think they only have one card left here. I think our best route to victory is just like playing this Niv-Mizzet on curve. So bouncing a token effectively destroys the token. So I'm going to kick this and get rid of that and draw a card, which lets us a land drop here. So that means if we hit a red source next turn, we'll be able to play Niv out. Shalai is annoying because Justice Strike does not kill it. Perfect. Hopefully they don't have Conclave Tribunal as their last card here. If they don't have Conclave Tribunal, we're going to be in a pretty amazing spot. If they have like untapped land, activate Shalai. That's like kind of annoying, I guess. Oh, actually, I draw a card here, and this gets to hit this, and then I get to Justice Strike and kill it. That's quite fantastic. So, So, I think I just pass here and use my health total as a bit of a resource. If this Niv-Mizzet stays in play, I'm winning the game and it's not particularly close. I could Justice Strike this to not take the hit this turn, but I think I'd much rather just hold this up. And then like at end of turn, if they don't give me something to counterspell, I will Justice Strike this. There's another one of those. Let's just go ahead and zap that. And then we do this, which shoots them. And then next turn I'll get to Justice Strike this, and then Niv-Mizzet just kind of dominates this board. So that's a 7th untapped land, which means I can Justice Strike, search for Azcanta, and still hold up Ionize here, which is great. Cleansing Nova, while good, is not going to be a card that I'm interested in playing here. And the opponent knows the writing's on the wall. Niv's just run away with the game. Shalai gives them hexproof, Ian. So when I hit the extra damage on Shalai, that was the only legal target for that. Wow, this deck really hates tokens. We got tokens is the quick chest. Yep, that's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. All right, so Lava Coil is actually very good here, and Justice Strike seems pretty poor. I don't think this is a Star of Extinction matchup. Like, I've got 4 Clarions, 3 Novas, and 2 Cannonades. So I think I'm not supposed to bring in the Stars of Extinction. I feel like that might be overkill. So This deck is mostly 2 and 3 ofs, and the reason for that is that's a very good question. In a control deck like this, you'll notice a lot of our cards have overlapping text boxes. Bring in that star for the chat. No, I can't, not even for 200 bits. It's just, I don't want to play it optimally. Sorry, the answer why the deck is mostly 2s and 3 ofs. A lot of the cards in this deck serve very similar functions, but are slightly better in different spots. So for instance, Justice Strike and Lava Coil are both 2-mana pieces of removal, but Lava Coil's better in some spots and Justice Strike's better in others, whether it's because of exiling or because of the way it deals damage or because of instance versus sorcery, etc. Moondress, this is the longest relationship I've ever had, and I'm so happy. Thank you for the 10 months. Welcome back. The Stone Rain is why chat loves it so much. Almost certainly. Bye, friend. What's going on, Tremolos? Yeah, my wife's out of town for the weekend. She gets back in tomorrow night. So the kids are sleeping, and I was like, I'm gonna play some Magic Arena anyways because I'm an addict and all I do is play Magic. And it's just like, you know, might as well stream if I'm gonna sit and play Arena anyways. Go for an hour 20. Let's play one more. They conceded that match. Let's play one more. The Star Stone Raining is actually very relevant against green black because you get to kill their Memorial to Folly when you kill their board. I think a lot of decks in this format have good tokens match up. I think both green black and blue black line up well against tokens because of Ritual of Soot and Finality. So we're gonna play one more match here with this Jeskai control deck, and then we're gonna play a black-green mid-range deck that's playing Demon Lord Bezuki or something like that. I forget his form. It's Demon Lord something. And then we've got a couple more decks after that. Thanks for hanging out tonight, folks. It sounds fine. So this is a little thing, but you'll want to note. You'll want to note that I want to lead on Sulfur Falls here because Plains is going to make Glacial Fortress come into play untap. Why don't you play constructed events? It's more entertaining to watch. Well, I'm going to give you a 10-minute timeout because you exerted an opinion without justifying your opinion. So it's more exciting to watch why. I don't understand. So my goal while I stream Magic on this channel isn't to be a degenerate gambler. I have all of the cards that I want to play with on Arena. So rather than gamble while I play, I'd rather just focus on playing good Magic and learning from the mistakes and deck choices that have been made. A lot of the decks that I play on this stream are viewer-submitted deck lists. And if I play a constructed event, in addition to having the gambling in-game currency to play in that, I also have to be locked into playing my deck for a huge amount of matches. It doesn't allow me the flexibility to change my deck in between rounds as I learn what works and what doesn't. GP deck list, there's trial winning deck lists for the Grand Prix, but the actual Grand Prix decks themselves won't be posted till after the tournament's done tomorrow. This matchup's probably pretty good for us, right? Like, we've got a bunch of sweepers and stuff. Good quality card removal. When you creature spells you cast power 4 or greater cost 2 less. It attacks. Wow, that's pretty sweet. So is that. Justice Strike is perfect here because I'm gonna put a stop on my end step here. So I get to plus Teferi, and then I'm gonna get to untap 2 of my lands, and then still during my end step, Justice Strike this before they untap. So we'll untap these 2, and go ahead and Justice Strike. The only possible advantage is slightly better competition. I don't even think that's true. Especially once the ladder is functional, like playing at a high position on the ladder will theoretically be much better competitiveness than just like random people you're playing against in a tournament, right? Because like anybody can jump in a gauntlet and pay money to gamble, right? But like to play match at the top of the ladder, you have to have worked your way up. That's a fine. They picked those back up, sure. God, the hits our draw's been very good this game. What's your opinion on Rel alongside Teferi so you have to? So this deck, like most decks we play, is a viewer submitted deck list, so I haven't made decisions for the cards that are in this deck really. That being said, I really like the mix of Teferi and Ral. While Teferi is definitely the more powerful planeswalker in the absolute sense, you see enough cards with this deck consistently that you'd much rather have one of each than 2 Teferis. Hey Evars, thanks for the host. Hope you had a good stream this evening. We're hanging out, playing some Constructed here on Magic Arena, playing some Standard. So I get to Chemister's Insight plus Justice Strike this turn. Thorn Lieutenant's annoying. So probably gonna Chemister's Insight, untap Cleansing Nova here if they play out another creature. Jadelit Ranger, sure. Galta. I really don't like Galta as a Magic card. I think Galta is a card that's a pretty good example of a win more Magic card. In these green decks, if you're able to cast Galta, it means you have a very large board presence, which means that you probably are winning anyway. So like, why do you need this big dinosaur if you already have a large board presence? I think Vivian Reed is better than Vraska, big and small. They do kind of different things. I think on average, I would definitely favor playing Vivian over Vraska, but Vraska definitely is better in certain matchups in certain situations. Teferi is just like casually at 7 here. Sure. Doop, doop, doop.
Keep up the pace.
This game's a good example of I hear a lot of people, especially newer players, complain about control decks. One of the things you can do to improve your experience as someone who's a new player playing against control decks is learning when the game is over, but your health total is not at 0. So my opponents like single-digit percentages to win this game, probably fraction of percentages, and they'd probably be much happier if they just stopped playing and went to the next game. That being said, I'm gonna emblem my Teferi and just like have a grand old time here, but this game is over even though their health total hasn't reached 0 yet. I'm doing well, Scouty. Life is swell. How expensive are decks in MTG Arena? The cost of a deck in Arena varies depending on how many wild cards or how many rare cards it has in it. So a deck with more mythics and more rares costs more money. Exactly how much money you ask, I have no idea. The worst thing about the Arena economy is that it's very difficult to pinpoint exactly how much decks cost you to buy.
You know what? I'm not done.
So the ladder isn't finalized. This is software that's in alpha, that's in open beta right now. So the ladder currently doesn't give you anything. That is correct. I assume at some point in the future, your having a ladder rank will be meaningful in terms of what you're getting from it. Is there any way to buy cards? Yeah, so as you buy booster packs in this game, you get guaranteed wild cards based on how many booster packs that you buy. So there is a ceiling on how much your decks can cost you, but generally speaking, the decks cost you less because you open cards that you want at some rate. Exactly how many cards you open that you want is going to vary depending on how lucky you are, though. But you can definitely calculate a ceiling on how much your decks cost. Star of Extinction for the flavor win? I don't think so. Star's in here for the green-black matchup. Yeah, the rate at which you open rares and mythics and booster packs, yeah, that's all public. No, I'm not bringing in Star. I'm not taking money to play poorly. It's rude to the person that donated for the deck originally. If I took like little $2 donations here and there to like play the deck poorly. I think I want Blink of an Eye. Blink of an Eye is good at buying me tempo, and then like my sweepers help me catch back up from the card disadvantage. Would you want Seal? So we played some Jeskai control with Seal Away in it, and I think Seal Away is a huge liability in Standard right now because all of the green-black decks have some number of planeswalkers that kill Seal Away. They're both 4-mana Vraska, 6-mana Vraska, and Vivian all kill Seal Away as an enchantment. So this build is favoring Lava Coil as its 2-mana and Justice Strike as its 2-mana removal of choice, and I think those 2 removal spells are ideal as long as green-black is represented in the format. You should ask on the Magic Arena subreddit Slight Return. I don't have good numbers for you offhand. You think they'll enable some way of buying wildcards? Yeah, they already have, Scouty. You buy booster packs and you get wildcards. You get guaranteed wildcards when you buy packs. Does list feel less clunky than the previous versions? I mean, they've all felt pretty reasonable. Just like tuning some of the details as like the format gets, yeah, Assassin's Trophy 2 is another liability for Seal Away. Has there been any green-black decks tonight? There's not yet, but the next deck we're playing is actually a green-black deck. We're going to be playing a green-black deck featuring a couple copies of Demon Lord. Ooh, they have a black splash in their deck. We did not see black cards out of them last game. Or black mana. Alright, open the draw land here. That's true. We saw Find Finality. That's fair. I don't really count that as a black card. It's possible like a mono green deck could be playing Find Finality as just untapped land. Untapped land. Man, that's unfortunate. Well, I guess I'm just playing this rather than discarding. Am I? No, I'm actually, that's a lie. I'm going to discard a Teferi here. If we don't hit a third land next turn, we're going to die anyways, so... Oh, can they play Galta? They have 7 and 5. Ferox, probably did here. I'm just not gonna have enough hit points. It's possible this deck wants another land. That's definitely something that might be reasonable. I could see. I think there's only 25 lands in this deck. There's 26. Maybe a 27th is not unreasonable. Or like another Search for Azcanta. Search for Azcanta is really good early because it helps you find more land drops later. I think I'm okay. Yeah, let's just yeah, third search is probably better than a 27th land, honestly. Search on 2 is kind of great. No, I don't think they'll ever do that, Scouty. They want you to buy booster packs. They want more money. I don't think they're going to give you a more direct way to buy wild cards. I get that the people that want to just buy singles want that to happen, but if they wanted to do that, it should be very easy to implement, and they obviously don't want to do that. Let's put a third search in the deck, he says, as he opens with 2 in his hand. Yeah, in effect, like, and that's the thing, so, like, the way the arena economy is structured is annoying, in my opinion, but when you think about it as you're buying wild cards in a guaranteed rate, and then you're getting booster packs as a bonus, no. Does Arena kill the LGS community? It does not. The only people that are claiming Arena is going to kill LGSs are people who are either idiots or scaremongers. In fact, if Arena is done correctly and managed properly by Wizards of the Coast, having a strong digital offering in Magic Arena will stimulate and encourage more people to play Paper Magic. Good marketing, good advertising is going to get people excited about Magic and have a crossover experience. The digital experience and the paper experience can and should be linked if Wizards understands and does things correctly. Your Arena stuff should get people encouraged to play Paper Magic and vice versa. Your paper stuff should encourage people to play Arena. You could very easily make it so, you know, once a month when you go to F&M, you get a code for a free draft on Arena, or you get a code for a free sealed event on Arena. You could very easily make that crossover happen. I shocked that in because I thought that was a Deafening Clarion. It's definitely not. I shouldn't talk and click at the same time. Main deck ego. Lol. Yeah, there should be crossover in both directions. There should be things that you do in Arena that encourage you to play Paper, and there should be things that happen in Paper that should encourage you to play Arena. There's so many great things that Magic can be doing that there's no reason that you can't have people just playing more Magic. Sure, there are a ton of great ways you can link paper and digital. Putting booster pack codes in things is just like a super lazy, easy way to do it. And I agree that that would be a fine way to approach it. All right, so I'm 2 life behind because I'm an idiot who wasn't paying attention. Sure. Can Arena be made to be good software? Yes, definitely. You can definitely fix those details. That's true. That's true. It did bluff a 3-mana counterspell. So I did pay 2 life for some like mental games value, but yeah, Pokemon TCG has a code in every pack. And like the new Warhammer card that Warhammer card game that recently came out, they go even a step further, and every individual card in the Warhammer card game lets you scan it in, so you get the same cards in digital that you have in paper. Peace, Red Mage, have a good one. So I don't expect Magic to go that far, but a code in every pack is probably not unreasonable. Sure. I'm gonna ditch this second search for Azcanta to this Chemister's Insight here. It's a Vine Mare. Yep. All right. Clarion, please. We get 4 shots at a Clarion. No, I don't think I'd ever work for Wizards of the Coast. Not only is like them offering me a job something that's incredibly unlikely, but I also just like the amount of money that I would have to be paid to like make moving to Seattle worthwhile is just like not something that they would pay. So we're taking 5, 6, 7, 8 here down to 5. Thankfully their deck doesn't have any reach in it. This like really doesn't matter. So I get to Chemister's Insight here. I'm taking 8 down to 5. I get to Chemister's Insight, drawing 2 cards. And then, so there's 4 Deafening Clarions in my deck. So like, we have 4 looks at a Clarion, and then I can Clarion clear everything else, and then Justice Strike kill the Galta next turn. I would like the record to reflect that I have a history of giving fair and balanced criticism. If you have an example of me being unfair to Wizards of the Coast with my criticisms, please point it out. Yeah, that my understanding too is that their salaries are not particularly competitive. And like, I have a background in like software development, so like if I ever like streaming ever stops being a job for me for whatever reason, I like have skills that like can get me into other jobs that pay like a reasonable amount of money. I think I'm gonna graveyard that. So here's hoping they don't have a way to protect this Galta. Zap. All right. Go. Why click both? Why not click both? I wanted my creatures to have lifelink. Come on now. Why? What do you have against my creatures getting lifelink? What did they ever do to you? Bye, friends. You get to play Teferi this turn too. Like this game. This game is over. My opponent is welcome to continue playing Magic, but this game is over. They have lost.
Sorry I'm late.
Unless there's a mountain and a what's it called? A mountain and the fireball in their deck, they're dead. Oh look, a Shivan Fire that I can kick. So I put Rail into play, and then Teferi is gonna untap 2 of my lands here. So during my end step, I can kick the Shivan Fire and kill this. So I get to draw cards with both Rail and Teferi here.
Just want to peek.
I mean, maybe Vine Mare could be annoying. Like I've got a lot of sweepers in my deck that kill Vine Mare. Oh, I could just Lava Coil it, huh? Yeah, I totally should just Lava Coil it. Much better. Hey, what's going on, Nick? Good show today. save this as an instant speed card is a little bit more valuable. The boys are here, chat. They're here and they are ready to party. They're gonna party all over your face. The boys are back in town. Teferi and friends. Yep, that emote is great. It's an ox emote.
Hope we get something good.
Their ultimates are good together. No joke. Kick it. Can't have this dark pressure in my planeswalkers. Can't have you disrupting my boys. They got work to do, opponent. Yeah, if you think making your control opponent play out a game like this is punishment for them, it's not. If we didn't like playing decks like this, we wouldn't register them. You're giving us more joy. Making a control opponent play out a game like this is like giving them a present.
Decisions.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
What's better than winning? Winning while your opponent has no permanence in play. Duh. I'm actually just not going to activate that because I don't want to deck with this Ral emblem.
I don't do this lightly.
I have just the thing to take you out for good.
Don't mind me. So I think so I'm gonna let this resolve. So if you see here, I enabled full control mode because I actually don't want to draw cards with this Chemister's Insight. So I don't want to deck. There is not through Deckmaster, but there is the Stream Decker widget on screen that will show you all the cards in my deck. You can also type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. I thought Bonds was on the no-fly list. Control Shift enables full control mode. Oh, I could have played Niv-Mizzet there. I didn't realize I had a mana floating.
Hold that thought.
Do you think they're gonna ban my Twitch channel for showing this? Is this legal? Are we gonna get reported for lewd conduct for this one? It feels like we should. The point of full control mode lets you do things like responding to your own spells. So like I could counter my own spell there. All right, so this does some ungodly amount of damage. I like that when they have no permanence, the Ral trigger automatically targets them because it's the only legal target. Yay, triggers! GG, WP. Well, you know, not bad, JPG. This Jeskai deck is sweet. I think if you're looking for a dedicated control deck to be playing in standard right now, that Jeskai control is the best thing out there for that. The blue-black control decks and green-black and stuff like that that exist in standard, I think those are definitely more closer to mid-range as far as an archetype is concerned, and something like this as a more dedicated control deck is more reasonable. Again, if you want to see more matches with this deck, you can go to jeffhoagland.com and click at standard decks at the top, and there's a deck list and a YouTube playlist of more videos of us playing it. As far as the details on this specific viewer submitted list, I don't know. I feel like we had a lot of really clean answers to most things. There's a lot of 2s and 3-ofs in this deck list, but the thing again that you have to remember is that a lot of these cards have very similar functions. So like, you know, like there's 2 Lava Coil, 3 Justice Strike, 3 Shivan Fire, but really you want to look at this as we have 8 removal spells, right? Same thing with like Clarion and Cleansing Nova. These are 6 sweepers. They're just better in different situations. The sideboard, I think Esper is better in the blue control mirror matches. Like having discard spells is very good, gives you a leg up in the blue mirror matches, but I think against the field I'd rather be Jeskai. As far as the sideboard goes, these cannonades might be overkill. I think 4 Clarion, 3 Nova is probably plenty. I think if I wanted more cards for... I actually think 0 Settle is very correct. I think if you want more answers to Carnage Tyrant, we have 3 Cleansing Nova that do that very neatly. We also have 2 Star of Extinction. This card is very good against green black. It kills all their planeswalkers in addition to killing their things. Yeah, I think if instead of this fiery cannonade, I'd probably look at having just like more shock effects, like another Shivan Fire or like actual shock to like keep your health total high, because sometimes, especially on the draw against the red decks, they can get under your 3 mana sweepers like this. You want to keep your health total high against them. I think the opposite of what, Mayor? Honestly, I could even see... I think a third Niv in the 75 isn't absurd either, because Niv's just like so good in the control mirrors. Yeah, this format, the fact that like there's so many conditional removal spells adds a lot of skill and tuning to deck buildings. You kind of get to choose what you're doing and when. Do I have a WotC sponsored arena account? No, I have a credit card sponsored arena account. This stream is sponsored by the viewers at home and the wonderful piles of subscribers that enable this to be my job.